Okay, you guys, I've been in contact lately with a couple offices of the government. In specific, I have spoken to the Governor General's office, and I have been in contact with the Speaker's office. The Speaker's office and I have actually been conversing a bit back and forth. And one of the MPs that works at the House, we've been talking about the Speaker's role and the conduct allowed, etc. And she informed me that everything was laid out in the standing orders. And if we wanted to see what was allowed, not allowed, roles, etc., it was all in the standing orders. So I got into reading that and saw in Appendix 1, under the section of Principles number 2, both B and D, is talking about conflicts of interest and the perceived and real conflicts of interest, which is clearly, our Deputy Prime Minister slash Minister of Finance slash sitting on the Board of Trustees for the World Economic Forum. Sitting on that board is a clear violation and real conflict of interest to the Canadian people. In interpretation number 3, subsection 2E, it talks about furthering private interests in specifically persons becoming an officer or a director in another corporation or entity, which, Chrystia Freeland sitting on with the World Economic Forum board, again, clear conflict of interest to the people of Canada. Now, you get down to the rules of conduct, and number 8 onward, it talks about furthering private interests, which again, Chrystia Freeland sitting on as Deputy Prime Minister, Minister of Finance, and on the board of the World Economic Forum, clearly furthering private interests. Again, clear conflict of interest to the people of Canada. So I would probably suggest talking to the Governor General's office, the Speaker's office, your MP, and specifically pointing out this standing orders Appendix 1 violations. We're probably not going to be able to have members of our parliament step down or be removed simply through bouncy castles in front of the parliament building, as lovely as that would have been. I'm firmly believing if we start raising these points where, we're using their own standing orders against them, it's creating and exposing that conflict of interest. There might be a little bit more sway and power in being able to specifically reference these. We're basically saying, hey, we know that these violations are happening and it goes against the rules of our house. They're subject to their rules and the laws as much as we are, right? So I would suggest probably speaking with your MP, your Governor General, and the Speaker of the House and citing these specific things, and maybe we can get something done. Either Chrystia Freeland is going to have to step down as Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Finance, or she's going to have to step down and remove herself from the World Economic Forum, and we can start to kind of get that ball rolling and a little bit more exposure to that, and maybe actually have something done about it instead of just the talking that's been taking place and going on. So reach out to those people and cite these things, and talk to you soon.